Have you noticed your SASSA payment hasn't arrived yet this month? You're not alone. Right now, over 210,000 South Africans are facing delays with their grant payments, and this is not just a random system glitch. The truth is, SASSA has implemented strict verification measures, and only verified beneficiaries will receive their payments on Tuesday. But what does this mean for you? If your details are not up to date, or if there are issues with your bank verification or personal records, your grant could be put on hold until further notice. SSHA has confirmed that these delays are part of their ongoing process to clamp down on fraudulent claims and to ensure that only eligible and verified recipients receive the funds. For many pensioners and grant recipients, this payment is their only way to buy food, medication, and daily essentials. Imagine waking up, going to the ATM, and seeing your balance still empty despite relying on that money for survival this week. This is the harsh reality faced by thousands right now. Officials say the payments for verified beneficiaries will reflect on Tuesday, but if your information has not been verified, you could be left waiting indefinitely. That is why it's crucial to check your SSHA status today, visit your nearest office, call the helpline, or ask the online portal to confirm if your banking and IHD details are current and correct. Many recipients have been caught off guard by these delays, unaware that minor issues like outdated bank accounts or unverified IDs can block payments completely. SASSA is urging everyone to act immediately to avoid future disruptions. If your grant is your only income, this could mean the difference between eating this week or going hungry. Stay with me as I break down exactly why these delays happened, how to resolve your verification issues quickly, and what you need to do right now to ensure your grant payment arrives without further complications this month. So, let's dive deeper into why exactly these delays are happening, and what it really means for you as a pensioner or grant recipient in South Africa right now. You see, for the past few months, SASSA has been under intense scrutiny from the government and external auditors because of the increasing number of fraudulent claims being registered across the country. People using fake IHDs, people who have passed away but payments are still going out under their names, and even syndicates creating fake beneficiaries to withdraw grants unlawfully. All of this has forced SSHA to tighten its systems and introduce stricter verification rules. Now, if you're sitting there wondering whether your payment will come through on Tuesday, or if you're one of the 210,000 whose money is being withheld, it's important to understand exactly how this verification process works. Basically, every beneficiary is now required to have their ID and banking details rechecked against the Department of Home Affairs database and their bank's database to confirm that you are alive, that your ID number matches your name, and that your bank account is in your name only. This sounds simple, right? But here's the problem. Many pensioners registered their bank details years ago and have since changed banks, lost their old IHDs, and received new smart cards or moved to new addresses without updating their SSHA records. This creates mismatches in the system, which then results in an automatic payment block until you physically go to SSHA or the bank to resolve it. One pensioner from Limpopo, for example, was left in tears last week when she discovered her payment had not come through because she had changed her surname after her husband passed away, but SASSA still had her old surname in their system. The Home Affairs database had her new surname, which created a mismatch and flagged her payment as unverified. It took her almost 3 days, multiple taxi trips to the local office, and standing in queues in the winter cold before it was finally resolved and her payment was released. This is just one story among thousands. And then there's the issue of bank verification failures. For instance, if your bank account has been dormant for too long, meaning you haven't used it to withdraw or deposit for a while, the bank may close it automatically due to inactivity. When SSHA then tries to deposit your grant, it bounces back and your payment is flagged. Many older beneficiaries don't know this, especially those who ask their children or relatives to withdraw money on their behalf, thinking their account remains active as long as the SSHA card works at an ASTHM. Sadly, this is not the case. Now, the question is, why is SSHA doing this right now? especially in the middle of winter when people need their grants more than ever. The official statement is that it's part of their annual fraud cleanup process, but internally, sources say it's because millions of rands have been lost over the past year due to fraudulent claims, and the pressure is now on to stop it before the next financial audit. So yes, while this verification process is crucial to protect government funds, it's the poorest and most vulnerable citizens who are suffering in the meantime, left without food, electricity tokens, or money for transport to clinics and hospitals. You might be asking yourself, if you are verified and your information is correct, will you get paid on Tuesday? The answer is yes. SASSA has confirmed that all beneficiaries who have passed the verification checks will receive their grants on Tuesday without any issues. But if your payment does not reflect by Wednesday morning, that is a clear sign that something is wrong with your verification status, and you will need to act immediately. The longer you leave it, the longer your payment will remain blocked. Some pensioners have waited up to 6 weeks for back pay simply because they delayed visiting the SASSA office to fix their details. Let's talk about what you need to do to make sure your payment is not delayed in the future. Firstly, check your bank account regularly. Make sure it's still active and that your IHD matches the account holder name exactly. If your bank details have changed, you must update them at your nearest SHA office with your new bank confirmation letter and your original IHD document. Secondly, if you've changed your surname due to marriage or death of a spouse, update your SHA records immediately. Take your marriage certificate or death certificate along with your IHD to ensure that all databases match. Another crucial point is your proof of life. Every year, SASSA requires certain grant recipients, especially those over a certain age or with a disability, to provide proof of life. This can be as simple as visiting the office to confirm your identity or using biometric verification at paypoints. If you miss this deadline, your payment will be automatically suspended until proof of life is provided. This is to ensure payments are not going to people who have sadly passed away, but whose families continue to claim under their name. Now, let's discuss the emotional and psychological impact of these delays. Imagine a pensioner living alone, with no children nearby, relying only on her monthly grant to buy bread, tea, sugar, and her blood pressure tablets. The grant payment day comes, and she walks all the way to town to collect her money, only to be told it hasn't come through. She has no airtime to call SASSA, no taxi fare to return again the next day, and she walks back home empty-handed, hungry, and fearful of what tomorrow brings. These delays are not just about missed payments. They are about dignity, survival, and mental health. In another case reported this week in KwaZulu-Natal, a man in his late 70s collapsed outside a supermarket because he had spent his last R30 on taxi fare to collect his pension, only to be told his payment was on hold. He had not eaten that morning and had no money to return home. Fellow shoppers came together to buy him a loaf of bread and arrange transport back to his village. This is the heartbreaking reality faced by our elders who dedicated their lives to building this country and are now left stranded because of system failures and outdated records. It's important to understand that while SASSA is doing this to protect the integrity of the grant system, it is equally important for beneficiaries to keep their personal information up to date. The smallest mismatch, even a missing middle name, or a single incorrect letter in your surname can trigger an unverified status and block your payment instantly. Stay with me in this video, as up next I will guide you step by step on how to check your SASSA status online, how to resolve a verification block efficiently, and how to prepare for the upcoming changes in grant payment rules later this year so you can avoid these painful delays in the future.